Welcome to Boomhauer69's channel, and today Boomhauer is going to talk about two different brands of weed trimmer, weed whackers, whatever you want to call them. I always just call them a weed whacker, but now I'm going to warn you all right now that stumble upon this video and come across this video. I am 100% not a landscaper. I don't do lawn care for a living. And I'm no small engine repair mechanic. I'm no mechanic or anything like that. I'm just a guy that simply pulls the ripcord on his weed whacker, weed trimmers, and uses them to cut his grass to make his lawn look pretty. That is all. So, professional standpoint, I'm not a professional. But I thought I would give my opinion of what I think about both of these weed trimmers. The one here is right here, this nice orange one. This one right here is the STIHL FS56RC gas 2-cycle weed trimmer weed whacker. It has a cutting path of 16.5, weighs 10 pounds, fuel capacity 11 ounces, and the motor size is a 27.2 cc's motor. Here's what it looks like. There's what your stringer looks like. There's the actual controls. Now I'm not going to show these in action or anything because the mowing season in my area is getting done and over with. But I just thought I would more talk about them. I'll show you one more time here again. There's the model information. Then I'll show you over here the Remington. This here is the Remington Rm2520Rc 25cc 2-cycle and cutting width 17 inches. I couldn't find out what the fuel capacity is on this one, but it's generally the same. Here's the little weed trimmer, where your weed stringer trimmer, whatever you call those things. Here's the motor itself. Here's where you find the information, the model. I don't know if you can see that too good, but there's what your motor looks like on that. The fuel. Let me turn this around here. There's your fuel tank. But, yeah. The reason why I have two different brand of weed trimmers, you might add. Also, one thing to note about this Remington, this is one of those you can take this part off your weed cutter part and do other attachments on, but I don't have any other attachments for it. I just use it for weed trimming. I actually forgot that you had that. Under that feature where you can take the actual weed cutter part and add some other attachments. I don't know what all you can add to that Remington, but the reason why I have two different ones here, the Remington one is the very first weed trimmer I got, the first gas-powered 2-cycle weed trimmer I got, and then later on I got the STIHL one here, the STIHL one. Now, the reason why I got two of these is because after a few seasons of using this Remington model, I think it's kind of junk. I think Remington's junk. Does it cut? Yes. Did it claim to be easy starting like they all claim? Yes. Was it easy starting? No. This thing I've had, and I think even from day one I always had to really primer it really good, pull the ripcord a bunch of times, try to get it to idle, and it would just crap. You wouldn't want to idle worth the darn, and then when you try to go to give it some gas, put your finger on the trigger throttle here, it would just stall out, and you'd be spending a lot of time trying to get this started. And once you got it started, oh yeah, it would run and cut grass, but the motor sounded weak, and I just didn't like it. It's one of those I thought, as soon as I get the money, I'm upgrading to a better weed trimmer. And that's when I got the STIHL one here, this nice lovely STIHL here. I bought the STIHL one at Ace Hardware. I forgot where I got the Remington. I think it might have been at Walmart or the Menards home improvement store. Might have been Menards, but can't remember. But the STIHL one here, I got it at a Ace Hardware store. And first I was actually looking at a little STIHL budget model, and the guy working at the hardware store warned me the one that I was first looking at in STIHLs not to get that one because he thought it was poopy. He recommended this one, and actually this model right here, one of their other employees actually owns this model, and he told me he had good luck with it. So I went with this STIHL FS56RC model because they recommended. I went and purchased, and so I decided to purchase this after they recommended it, and it's been great ever since. I love STIHL. Now the reason why I went with a STIHL in the very first place is because I have family members who burn wood for heating purposes. They have wood stoves and they cut and burn wood, and they use STIHL chainsaws, and they love STIHL brand chainsaws. And I knew STIHL was always good at making chainsaws, so I figured why not try one of their other products, a weed trimmer. In the near future, I would love to have one of their STIHL chainsaws, but right now I can't afford that. But anyways, the STIHL weed trimmer here, I got it because I thought, well, since STIHL is good at making chainsaws, and two-cycle chainsaw motors are basically no different from a chainsaw motor. A weed trimmer motor's they're practically the same in general, kind of. I thought, why not give it a try, and I'm glad I did because I had this Remington a lot longer. This STIHL weed trimmer I've had for quite a few seasons now. I forgot when I purchased it, but I had it for about a couple years now, and this STIHL, I can just follow the instructions on the motor that tells you how to start it, but it's simply easy to start. This you start up, and away you go. You can cut real fast. As with the Remington here, this Remington, you're spending quite a bit of time. I've noticed with this, I spend quite a bit of time trying to start it, get it to run and stuff, and then it probably needs the carburetor cleaned out and all that stuff, but I'm not even going to bother with it because, like most homeowners, how many people out there, maintain their weed trimmers? But this one I haven't done. On both these I've done zero maintenance on. This STIHL I've done zero maintenance on. I pull the ripcord and boom, it takes right off and cuts the weeds and trims the weeds, and I had good luck with it. Better luck than the Remington. And so my initial thoughts on both of these, if you're going to get a weed trimmer, I'm going to highly recommend a STIHL weed trimmer because it does by far the best. I haven't tried any other brand of weed trimmers out there. Like, I don't know how, Husqvarna brands are or the other companies that make weed trimmers. I did, long time ago, have a Craftsman. And the thing with the Craftsman weed trimmer is the little plastic thing down here that you use to, that your string comes out and whips around and cuts your weeds. The cutter, the Craftsman cutter, that had a cheap plastic and it burned right up, and I had bad luck with the trimming, the Craftsman weed trimmer. So I ended up with this Remington. The Remington, the motor to me is weak, and when I got it, it even sounded weak. We're like, is this thing gonna actually cut grass? So I didn't care for the Remington. To me, it just sucked big time, and so when I got the STIHL, I noticed a world of difference in weed trimming. The STIHL takes right off. It's fast. I'm actually spending more time cutting my grass than with this. This one, I was actually, the Remington, I was spending more time trying to get it to start. This one, it was easy starts, takes right off, no problems, no nothing. Now, I'm not going to show these in action because the mowing season is over. It's getting over here in Michigan, and it's raining out right now, as you can here, when I'm making this video. You can hear it's raining out, so I can't show these in action. Maybe next mowing season I'll show it, but right now here in Michigan it's fall time, so I can't show these in action. But anyways, my initial thoughts are, if you're looking for a weed trimmer, I highly suggest going with the STIHL brand. You're gonna have good luck, because this Remington, it's junk crap, and it just, to me, it's weak now. Now, I haven't tried any of the other attachments that you can get for this. I forgot about that part where you could take this off and buy some optional attachments, I guess, like maybe a brush or something, and stuff. Now, the STIHL Corporation, they make a model of weed trimmer that can do the same, where you can buy attachments and brushes and stuff, because I used to work for a company that had one of those STIHL weed trimmers that you could use it to cut weeds, and you could also add a brush attachment. Now, this model right here of STIHL trimmer, this one doesn't. This one you can't do attachments. It's just for trimming weeds only. But if that's what your main goal is, like me, I just simply need a weed whacker, weed trimmer to trim the weeds around my property. That's all I need around my lawn. The STIHL performs the best. The Remington, it's junk. I give STIHL a full 5 stars on their weed trimmer, and it's great, and 2 thumbs up. As for the Remington, well, that's kind of junk. I just keep the only reason why I keep that Remington around is that's just my backup, kind of the loaner, you know, the one that you loan out to somebody, and if they break it, you ain't too worried about it. But all in all, the STIHL one here, I highly recommend, because this one's like my baby. It's the best weed trimmer, gas trimmer I had so far. Now, before, for weed trimming, I just had those little little blades, swing blades, you know, that you use to whack weeds, and then I upgraded to a gasoline 2-cycle weed trimmer. These are both 2 cycles gas mixers. Now, I'm the type of person, when I make up 2-cycle gas, I just simply buy a gallon of gas and dump one little thing of oil in it. I got a little gallon gas can that I use for mixed gas, and that's how I mix up my gas. I don't pay attention to the mix ratios like they're supposed to, and that's one thing I don't do. That's a bad thing on my part, but all in all, I have used and misused both of these, and I'll say the STIHL runs flawlessly without any problems. And the Remington, it just, when it does run, it just seems so underpowered and not, to me, not very good. As where when I'm running the STIHL, I notice a world of difference. And so there you have it. My thoughts on these 2 weed trimmers, weed whackers, weed trimmers, weed cutters, whatever you want to call them, is don't waste your money on a Remington. Get a STIHL. You're going to have better luck all around. And so for all STIHL products I have personally used, because I have used STIHL chainsaws, and I think that they're great by far. I think they're great. I even used a STIHL brand weed sprayer and really liked that. And so all in all, STIHL is one of my favorite brands of lawn care products. I really like them. Matter of fact, STIHL, if you're seeing this, would you mind sponsoring Boomhauer 69? Yeah, because if you're watching this STIHL, I highly recommend your products. But I love them, but yeah, using this, this Remington here, I'll show it one more time. To me, it's trash. I just keep it around just for kind of a backup and kind of a loan to somebody when they need to cut weeds and stuff. But that's what I think of it. But all in all, I really like the STIHL. It's the best gas powered weed trimmer I have ever used. Now, the Craftsman one I had, I threw that out a long time ago, and that was shown along with this Remington. The Remington and Craftsman I had, the Remington and the Craftsman, they were both junk. STIHL, this one right here, it's been a really good weed trimmer. I have good luck with it and no problems whatsoever. And there's the model number again. So if you're looking for a weed trimmer for next season and stuff, highly recommend getting the STIHL. You're going to have good luck just as I am. Now I want to warn you all again, I'm not a professional landscaper. I'm no professional small engine repair guy. I'm just somebody that simply has to cut his own lawn and uses a weed trimmer to cut his own lawn. I'm just an average person that just needs to do daily lawn care like everyone else. And I've had good luck with the STIHL, and that Remington, it's crap. So if you like this sort of video, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to this channel, you've just found my channel, hit that red subscribe button. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. Comment below your thoughts on STIHL products, weed trimmers, Remington product, you know, whatever your thoughts on that also. And also give me your thoughts on what you thought of this video.